He was once one of the preeminent Democrat figures in Texas, but after multiple failed bids for higher office, Beto O'Rourke is probably screwed because there's been a big legal development in Texas, and guess what, Beto? It's time to lawyer up. Before we get into that, please like, comment, and share Explain America. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, I'm sure you've been following this big imbroglio about the Texas Democrats who've fled the state. Yeah, they are now wanted by the governor, Greg Abbott, and the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, because they need to get back to this special session so they can vote on things, not just redistricting, which has really been like this huge touchstone for the Democrats right now. They just can't stop whining about it, as if their states aren't gerrymandered and diced up like sushi at Benihana. So look, they need to get back to the Texas. Well, here's one of the things that happened recently. Greg Abbott and Paxton made it absolutely clear that if you are aiding and abetting these Democrats, and it doesn't matter if you're like the billionaire J.B. Pritzker or Beto O'Rourke, then the law is going to come for you. So here's what the deal is. Beto O'Rourke has an operation. It's called Powered by People. And it is one of the top groups that is financing these Democrats for fleeing the state. And according to the legal motion that's going against Beto right now, that's being considered bribery. Paxton even said any Democrat coward breaking the law by taking a Beto bribe will be held accountable. So this guy, Beto O'Rourke, is not only a loser, but it looks like he could be a criminal. And Ken Paxton, he's obviously running for Senate, and he'll be missed as Attorney General. But if he can get a few scalps, not just Beto O'Rourke, if guilty, obviously, but also Act Blue, that would be great, because Act Blue is also implicated in this. You might remember them as the Smurfs operation, not talking about the really bad cash grab movies that you might have seen with your kids in the movie theaters. But Act Blue, Powered by People, this is being implicated as a criminal operation. Have you ever heard of RICO statute, Beto? Or racketeering? Well, guess what? That's what you're doing, because these lawmakers are not allowed under the Texas Constitution to flee from their duties to the Texas people, because they are elected to do a job. And it doesn't matter if they like the bills or not, or who's in power and who's not. You have to show up and you have to vote. You have to have a quorum. And there's not just this districting battle on the line, which they're trying to tie to Trump. And it's also pathetic. But there's also relief, flood relief. 135 Texans died recently. Dozens went missing. The more of these people who can be found or spared, that would be great. But it's looking pretty dire, obviously, at this point. Look, it is criminal. Those people need help. You are a representative. It is not a gig. It is not like being an Uber driver, okay? You signed up for it. And if you cannot obey your oath of office, then it just really reveals that you are not cut out to be in office and you need to be replaced. So obviously there have been some other big developments. Abbott has moved for the top Democrat, Gene Wu, to be replaced. He has taken that to the Supreme Court of Texas in a petition. But we have the Democrats who just think they're above the law. Like, look at Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. I mean, he's a huge billionaire. But of course, if you're a billionaire on the Democrat side, they don't complain about it ever, do they? No. It only counts, just like redistricting. Illinois is one of the most gerrymandered states in the country. Obama is out running his mouth about it. I mean, you should pull up a map of Illinois, okay? Pull up a map of Massachusetts. You can also look at Maryland. You can look at a lot of these blue states. They are sliced and diced. They are cross-cut. They're like barely contiguous. Like it's like a snake maze. And they've used the Civil Rights Act as an excuse for doing this because there's been a high correlation of minority voting and Democrats. But however, that is circumstantial. If minorities voted for Republicans, they would not cut their maps like this, right? So their job is to represent American citizens, not various minority groups. Everybody in that district, no matter what their skin color, ethnicity, race, creed, they should be equally represented by whatever the representative thinks is in the best interest of the whole of those communities. So this balkanization has to stop. And the Texas Democrats are really revealing their true colors by fleeing the state. But guess what, Beto? If you're aiding and abetting these lawbreakers, then you should be held accountable to the law yourself. So let's hope that Ken Paxton is able to bring accountability to those who are aiding and abetting these Texas Democrats. Well, this has been Kyle Beck with Explain America. Please weigh in with your thoughts. We really appreciate it and would love to hear from you.